You got that on too?
Turn on. Hello everyone on Periscope. We are getting it together to get started here. We're going to have a roundtable discussion. There we go. We're trying to set everything up on what drives entrepreneurs. So I have my two guests here. Let's see when she sits down. So give us just a minute to get it all set up here. If you look bad, you can just tell something happened.
Yeah.
See, James. That's what happened when you wear heels and you have a glass in your hand, and the rest is history. Right. While I was out of town.
Huh?
While I was out of town. Yeah.
Just spoils the rest of your trip.
Yeah, but I still just continue.
Were you on like vacation?
Yeah. All right. Over the weekend. Yeah.
Okay, Periscope, give us just 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Had to get stitches. So how you gonna have how you doing the camera?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I guess you're gonna sit over there and I'll just sit here.
Okay.
Trying to get Facebook Live to work. Sometimes it just has a hard time. I don't
Hey,
know why.
Periscope. Your house is beautiful, Kayl.
Thank you. So can I reset it?
You were talking about that furniture that you're not supposed to touch.
Right.
You said when you were growing up.
Yes, like don't not even the dining room. Walk on the corner of the steps. Like, do not walk in the middle.
Periscope, we're waiting for Facebook Live to come on. So to be just 1 second. Everyone that's here, thank you so much for joining. Because I don't see anyone. I'm sure they'll be here. But you know, my mom first came when we first moved here. My son and his friends was in here, and I don't drink out anything plastic because I grew up on plastic. You know? And the mayonnaise jars and all that. You know, we country. So we drink out the beverage glasses like this, the big ones. And he had that, and she was like, boy, your mom gonna get you, and you shouldn't be in there. And he looked like, what? Like, we're always in there.
No, we do this all the time.
But she took care of it better back then. I don't care about anyone doing anything, but just take care of it.
Right.
You know, the older they get, the less they follow your instructions. Because they know more than you know.
Right.
Hopefully this is going to work.
Yeah, I went and picked up my son. Got to the school about 1:50. Didn't leave to 2:40. It took that long to get him out to school.
Why?
I don't have any idea. He said the girl came down and gave the wrong name and all that stuff. So.
Hello everyone on Facebook Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the round table on Front Street with Kayl May. You may not be able to see me, but I'm not important. You'll be able to see my guests there, but thank you so much for joining us. What we're going to be talking about today, Periscope and Facebook Live, we're going to be talking about what drives entrepreneurs. And I had this conversation with an entrepreneur before because I'm all about inspiring entrepreneurs on not giving up, not letting fear stop them, not, you know, when they make mistakes, not, you know, letting that stop them. Because a lot of times that's what happens, and then we end up giving up on our dreams. So, and I'm sorry about that lighting behind James. I can see it there. But I also read one of James' articles, and I was very intrigued. I said, you know what? That goes right along with what I really wanted to talk about anyhow. So after we discuss our, introduce ourselves, then we'll go forward with the conversation. My name is Kayl May. Let me get up and stand so they can see me. can't hardly see me, James.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to block your
No, you
sun.
should. I was going to say block that light.
Yes. And this round table is brand new. I was trying to block it. This round table is brand new, so we having to play with some things and all of that. But anyhow, my name is Kayl May. I am the customer service and leadership coach. I'm a motivational speaker, a radio personality, and a mentor. You can look at my website on Kayl May, the customer service coach, to find out more about me, or you can always email me at bottomlinesecret@yahoo.com. James, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is W. James Dennis. I'm an author, public speaker. I also teach, just in general, I just teach different aspects of self-empowerment. So business, getting better, a stronger mindset, becoming more at peace with yourself, and, just relationship-wise too, on certain levels. So my website is WJames, just the letter D.com, and go to the website. You can also go to my blog. You have the blog tab there, and you can find a ton of free information. I put out a new blog or podcast just about every Wednesday. So there's a ton of free information for you to check out there to learn more about me.
So you're author of how many books?
4.
4 books. So that's awesome. So we have some experience here.
That's awesome.
Kenyatta?
I'm Kenyatta Nicole. I'm health and beauty expert coach. I'm a hairstylist, and I also passionate about health and wellness. I'm down 50 pounds so far. My goal is to lose another 40 pounds before my birthday, December 1st. Wow. So my thing is I'm very passionate about people, helping others. So through my journey and through my testimony, I feel like I'll be able to, reach people just like me and be able to help them as well with some of their health and wellness goals, as well as their beauty goals as well. We are starting a 6 weeks challenge. I'm not gonna say challenge, because we all gonna be helping each other. So a 6 weeks body makeover starting Monday. So I'm getting more and more people involved. So I'm really excited about that, because that's not only going to help me, but it's going to help some other people as well to reach some of their fitness goals. So I'm just super excited.
I think that's when you started last year. You wanted to lose, 30 pounds before your birthday or something like that? And you did that?
Yeah.
I can attest. I saw her.
Yeah, I'm doing 40. So my goal is the 6 weeks to lose 20. And that's going to be October, I forget how October something. Then I have the rest to lose the other 20. It can be done.
Yeah.
I saw her from last year. She did. She made her goal. And you look very good.
Thank you.
I feel bad now. I've worked out for 2 years. I've been slacking on the working out.
Right. Yeah, and we started a walking group. It's me and, a few of my other friends. And we just encouraging each other, because at first it was I'm just going to do this by myself. But then you do have those days where you so tired and you don't feel like doing anything. Mm-hmm. But when you have an accountability partner and they're calling you, hey, you want to go, are we walking today? And you're you know what, I'm just going to get up and go.
Right.
So so I'm excited about this new journey.
Hey Tina, thank you so much for joining. Gardenia, you turn your light close to the drapes. Well, my drapes doesn't close. Gardenia. Hey Auntie, how you doing? So I can't see everyone's comment, but I did want to say welcome to some of you all that I saw was posting something. Gardenia, I know that lighting is absolutely horrible. James, if you want to move to this side,
move over there.
You can do that, and I can actually hold the iPad up. Y'all, you know me.
I just think moving to that side.
I just work around the technical issues. I don't have time to say.
If you turn it, then it could get you some too.
I don't have time to not do something because something's not working out.
There we go.
I don't want to cover you up. You're very beautiful and very elegant.
Well, sit it right here.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah. I don't really care.
I know it is.
Once we take our picture, we'll be in the picture.
It's awesome.
They'll be doing it for us.
So, but y'all are the most important. I thank you so much for accepting to come on and work through this. And this is part of being an entrepreneur, when things don't just work out. Karen Joseph actually did something of this today. She was asking, she put a little perfection thing up and her foot on it by the river, whatever. And she was like, what is it? What am I trying to say? And you're trying to say everything cannot be perfect all the time for you to start and going forward. And I was like, that was perfect for the show as well. Right. Because this is our first round table, right?
Right.
So nothing is going perfect.
Right.
We're
Right.
working our way through
No.
it. And that's what business is all about. Even when I did Blab, they had some technical issues, and whatever happened, we still had to go forward with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what entrepreneurship is about, not letting the things stop you when things coming on. So we're just going to talk about what drives forward when inspiration is lacking. So I'm going to ask James to talk about his, was it your blog?
Yes.
Your blog that you had on that actually called me to
Okay.
call you and talk to you about this.
That was actually inspired because I was thinking about, because every once in a while, because I teach business. I teach basics of business, mindsets of business. And every once in a while I get emails and questions from aspiring entrepreneurs or people looking to make a transition, kind of keep their job, maybe have like a little side hustle or go fully into business. And I started thinking back to when I started first learning business. And honestly, my original motivation was money. So, I want the money. I want the money. Get the money. And as I started actually learning and growing as being an entrepreneur, I started realizing the money's good. You want money. You want money. But your freedom of time to be able to choose what you want to do and then also have the ability to also love what you do, that's golden. That's gold. There's not another feeling like that for me as far as business. And the money is something else that I think a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs and beginning entrepreneurs make the mistake at as well, is they focus too much on the money. And like you were just saying, worried about every little single mistake, or they have a long list. Before I get started, I need this and this and this and this. And while they're trying to acquire all those things, they never get started.
Right.
So yeah, that post I just kind of went back in time a little bit and.
Well, it was right on time.
Yeah, because every successful entrepreneur I've ever spoken to, and I've spoken to hundreds and hundreds, they all say the same thing. I love what I do, and I'm glad I have control of my time.
Well, this is something I'm going to ask both of y'all, because something else that I see big, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. This kind of fell in my lap to be this after car wreck that I had, and I think most people know my story by now. But I find that I work even harder.
Yes.
Even longer hours sometimes.
Right.
And I'm not even getting half
Of what you would get.
of what I was getting when I was at corporate, and I didn't want to work all those hours and do it. I complain all the time. I don't find myself complaining now. Why isn't we as entrepreneurs, willing to work so much harder for ourselves than we are for other companies? We don't complain as much, and we don't see the money there. So we'll start with
I think because you enjoying, like you said, you enjoying what you're doing. Most of the times when you at a job, you're just there because you're getting a paycheck, and you're not liking it at all. But you got to do that. You got to provide for your family. But it's like you don't see it yet, but you know the end goal. Okay, if I work this hard and if I put a lot of energy into it, later on I'm gonna reap the benefits.
Right.
And then it's just something that you enjoy to do. So I think that's why you work a little bit hard, because it doesn't seem like you're working.
Yeah.
So that's what it could be, even though you're not getting paid. And I know with me, sometimes money, it'll just come anyways. You don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to come. So it's like you're not even worrying about that part, but you're doing something that you're enjoying. So you're going to just keep pushing for, keep doing it until you perfect it. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Because I wake up, sometimes on a good day, I might get 5 or 6 hours of sleep. So my whole day,
Oh, it's not just me.
my whole day is just because I like to teach. So everything I do, blog posts, podcasts, writing books, it's all me teaching. And I like teaching this stuff. I enjoy it. So when I get up, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, okay, I need to get this done today, or if I'm just making graphical pieces, or planning on a blog post, or if I'm in the process of writing a book. And that's what I think about all day. And like you were saying, you don't really, it's work. It is work, but you don't look at it as, oh, let me go drag myself and go do this. Like, oh, let me go do this. It's just something that your mind is just naturally, it's always, it's just always thinking in that direction. So it's like, it's nothing like, I need to, and this is another thing, because I think entrepreneurs, we're crazy. Honestly.
Right.
We're
You're
crazy.
Absolutely correct.
We're crazy. We're crazy, especially when you look at it from the perspective of the average person. We're crazy.
Right. You have to be.
Because who wants to spend 30 hours a week with a possibility of nothing. In
Right.
That's
right.
crazy to the average person.
Right.
But, you know, like you said, just having to love what you do. And it's funny, that consistency, the money does, it starts coming.
Yeah.
It starts coming.
And I think too, like when you're going to a job, you got somebody watching over you, telling you what to
Right.
do.
Right.
And when it's your own, like you can do it at your free time if you want to. You don't feel like the pressure, all like you being at a job. And I know for me, there's times that I work like where I make good money, but it's like I'm like, dang, it's dead end. It's like I'm not getting nothing. I'm not being challenged. So I'll be at my job working on my business. They're like, "What you doing, Deanna? Researching for my business," and wouldn't care.
And a lot of people don't understand. You know, my dad is one. He was on his job for 40 years.
Right.
My aunts have been on their job for 40 years, and they're just retiring. And when they said, well, what did you do today? And I'm like, well, I did this and that. They're like, quiet.
Right.
So you're not working anywhere?
Right.
And I'm saying, yes. And I have to go into the explanation, especially for your older family members who don't understand.
Yeah.
Some of the younger ones, you know, they're just saying you just don't want to work. But the older ones, they truly don't understand entrepreneurship, especially in my family, because they all have worked mostly for the same company, building ships and stuff. They work hard their lives. And, you know, we've always had something, and that's the only way you're going to have something. You get out and you work hard for it. And now you're not seeing me work hard like you used to see me working 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm doing the same thing now. I'm working all the time, but you don't see me hitting that client. You know, I'm not going to that communication company that I was at. I'm at home in my office, and you know, they just don't understand it. So sometimes we have to educate them on what we're actually doing and the reason why. And I love it, and what drives me is, you know, my oldest son is, he's so much like me, and growing up now, we didn't see that before, but I'm seeing it now as he's getting his career going and things, and, you know, I'm saying I'm bringing him in on mine, so it's not just about me anymore, and I'm hopefully later on, which the youngest one fights against it, but, you know, later on, as he mature and gets educated and stuff, he will come on, because one thing he always say is, you know, he was teaching a little 4-year-old we had, you need to have a college education, but not to work for anyone else, to work for yourself and be able to successfully run your business. So hopefully, you know, when I get this business off the ground where I want it to be, and I know it's going to be successful, is to bring my family and have something left for them. Now, that doesn't mean they can't go out and get a corporate job or do whatever they want to do, but it's something else on the side. As an entrepreneur, that's what drives me every morning. I want, you know, to have something else. And then again, one of the other things that drive me is when my kids were coming up, they played sports all the time. I believe in boys, you know, you know, they have to keep them active with kids all together. But my boys, I had to keep them active. I feel like, you know, being some bug or something, being not having anything to do is like a devil's playground. You know, they always
That's true.
I'm so always so afraid they're gonna get in trouble. So, but me working so much, I couldn't be there all the time that I wanted to be there for them. You know, early on, I did home care, so I was able to do, you know, half of my patients in the morning, half at night, so that I can be there for school functions and for, you know, sports activities and stuff. I was able to work that around. But when you're working inside a building for corporate, you can't do that. It's hard for you to do that and still be as successful as you want to do. So I would take extended lunches and stuff like that to be at some of the games. But as an entrepreneur, I see with my grandsons, that I have that time where I can really be in the moment, because even when I was there, when I was in corporate and I was there for those extended lunches trying to support them, I noticed that I still wasn't there in the moment. I was thinking about what was going on at work. And now when I'm spending time with my grandkids, even though I'm taking away from my entrepreneurship, from my own business, I'm there in the moment because I know that I can take that time up after we get back home. I can get back to my home business no matter what time it is, and still let it be successful. But being there in the moment and enjoying my family, that's my driving mechanism for wanting to be an entrepreneur.
And so like piggyback on what you're saying, I know for me, I didn't realize it until as I got older and matured. Like, it's always been in my blood because that's what I saw my mom do. But she never said, Kiana, you're going to be an entrepreneur. I just saw her with the Avon stuff, making quilts, making the hats and the scarves, me selling that. And it's like you said, your son, I always say kids do what they see most of the time, not what they told. So if you tell them, that can work both ways, So, and my son that's in there, he's an entrepreneur, and I love it because but now I'm able to give him what my mom didn't tell me, like, how you gonna do? Right. But since I've learned and grow, I can tell him, like, okay, you're gonna do it this way, that way. And it kind of was in her because her mom had a candy store. Mm-hmm. So sometimes people don't understand, like, the things that they do. The kids are subconsciously watching, right. And they're going to end up doing the same thing that you're doing. So, yeah.
And it's important for us to teach them. Because
I
didn't want to be an entrepreneur. I have an older cousin who, a couple of years older than me. She doesn't look it. But she's an entrepreneur. She's always tried to get me to do these, networking things.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. I know when I'm getting that crop, I'm getting my money, and I don't have to worry about anything, right? But when I had the car wreck, if I had had that secondary insurance, it would have been something because the person who hit me didn't have insurance. So that would have been another source of income. So I think that's another thing that we need to think about as well. And I think that's what my oldest son does. Now he has the twins.
Yeah.
Paying, has a very good job, but went from paying a car note and insurance to now you have a whole family to take care of all yourself, And so having that extra income helps out because, it's a struggle when you first get started, and financial problems are the major problems of breakups in relationships. Right. Because they can't understand how to get that together, so that causes problems everywhere else in the relationship. That's true. So when you can do some kind of direct marketing or some type of entrepreneurship business on the side, it helps. And some people say, well, I can't be an entrepreneur because I'm working. That is the best time ever. Let that corporate job support that entrepreneurship, what you want to do. Then you don't have to struggle so much.
Yes, because me, I went head first. I just dived in. I quit my job. I wish I didn't when I first started. I wish I didn't. You will struggle because there's a lot of little intricacies to being an entrepreneur, and there's little things you have to learn. And my first 3 years, it wasn't easy. So I did have to go back and get a job. So if you have a job and you're looking at being an entrepreneur, just like you said, take the time, use that to your advantage. Don't just jump head first in. Don't delay yourself either. Don't hesitate. Get out there and start doing what you need to do. But just don't just quit your job and just go. I speak from personal experience. You're gonna have a hard time. And I was lucky. I was single. I didn't have any kids. I was real young. I was real young. So but even then I was struggling.
But like you have that experience to tell other people, which is good. Because some people, so that's good because you like, okay, you can still, because that's what people think, like, oh, well, I can't do both. Yeah. I got so much to do, but most of the times, that's when entrepreneurs are made when something happens. When they lose their job because they think they're going to be there forever, that the company going to need them forever. And then once that happened, then they like, okay, some are, not everybody, but some like, what, this can't happen to me again. Even if I get a job, I need to find something else on the side just in case this happens again. But, people need to understand, you need multiple streams of income.
But if you look at a lot of these networking companies, if you look at the ones who are really, really successful, there have been the lawyers, the doctors, the corporate, the CEOs and things. Those are the ones who are very successful in different networking groups. How do you think they leave that and go and be successful?
That's true.
They transfer that knowledge that they have, and that's why I like what my son said. Yes, you still need that education, because a lot of networkers, they tell you that you don't need that degree. You're just wasting your money up. No, you need that, because if you do your research and you look at other people who are really successful, those are people who have their degrees. Those are people who've already been successful in corporate most of the time. Not all the time. So you need that in order to be successful. Then you can transfer that out. Now, most of the time, those same people, they don't just jump that job and just go into doing you let that fuel you. You let that, you have that money. You get that plan going. Yeah. You don't have to wait until you're all the way successful, but you start letting some things happen before you leave that company, that corporate job. Because what happens is, you don't have the finances. And again, finances, like I said about marriage, it's the same thing, because business is a relationship. It's the same as being married. Yeah. It's a relationship, and when those finances are not there, then you began to struggle, and then you began to shut down and not want to do it, then you want to go back to corporate and just leave the entrepreneurship alone.
Right.
But so those are the most successful people. So I don't want to tell anyone, I want anyone to think that you don't have to, that you have to leave corporate in order to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
You do not have to do that. You just have to use your time wisely, because
That's
now
true.
you'll be working 2 jobs.
Right.
Exactly.
But you can be successful, and you can be even more successful because you have something now that's fueling that
Yes,
entrepreneurship.
that's what I was
Every time you
thinking.
go punch that clock,
Yes,
It's
and that's
like-
gonna make you want to work
Yeah,
harder.
Exactly.
But it's like if you don't have something to push you, it's like whatever. If
Exactly.
this don't work, then I could just get a job. But as y'all was talking, I'm like, you know what? Because I've done it before, like where I'm working and doing my stuff on the side, and or I'm just doing my stuff, my entrepreneurship. And now that I'm thinking about it, it seemed like I pushed harder when I was working.
Exactly.
Just being honest,
Exactly.
because it's like you know you don't want this, so you're pushing harder to get up out of it.
Exactly.
And then when
put
you,
that plan in
yes, so
place.
I'm saying like, oh my God, that is so true.
You know why you're coming there every morning. Now,
Right.
the company thinks you're coming there to help them be
No.
successful. But in your mind, your business plan is saying, I am utilizing this company to
Right.
get my company going.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize, because other people are telling them, just jump head first out into entrepreneurship. Leave corporate. We don't need corporate. Yes, we do need corporate in order to fuel what we want. If that's okay, and either way you can do it, as long as that plan is right, so that you don't give up in the end.
Right. Yes.
But going back to what we were saying before, when you was talking about, and we were all talking about, you know, how we work so hard as entrepreneurs, because it feel like you're not at work anymore. And Jewel was saying, she's one. Hey, Deja. Jewel Brown was saying that she don't agree that you do work harder as an entrepreneur, but that's what we were saying. You do work harder as an entrepreneur, but it's because of that passion. So I know some people start entrepreneurship or they start extra business because they're good at something.
Right.
Do you think that lasts as long if you're good at something but really don't care for it, or if you're good at something but you have that passion behind it? Because I'm big on the why you're starting your business, because
Have to have a
business
reason why.
is going to go up and down,
Right,
up and down.
right.
It's not going to be always up all the time.
Yep.
That's true.
So when you remember that why you started, you have that passion for it. That question always come in: will I still do this same thing that I'm doing now if I was not getting paid for
That's
it?
true.
That's the
So-
magic question. That is the magic
It
question.
is. It
Because to be honest, like for me personally, like I said, I love what I do. I love writing. I love talking to people, meeting people, teaching people. If I was not getting paid for it, I would still do it. I would still do it. As a matter of fact, before I started, because a friend of mine, he encouraged me to get back into writing. Because I started writing when I was in 5th grade. And I kind of let people, you know how it is, you get around people, especially at that young.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, what? You're going to write books? Like, it's like, and I kind of let people discourage me. So as I got older, I was like, I still wrote. You know, little bits here and there, a little bit here, a couple chapters here, just stuff all over the place, just in my spare time, because it's just something that's in me. And, you know, a friend of mine encouraged me to, you know, start, like, go ahead, you know, you got a whole book already done. And it's like, just go ahead and release it. It's like, you know what? Why not? Why not just update it and just put it out there? Whatever happens, happens. And then it just, all that stuff just started coming back to me, because like you were saying, when you have that, because my father, he never started a business, but I always saw him planning and plotting and putting things together. He was doing this thing called curry puffs. It's a food item. So we had an entire freezer full of curry puffs, and he had dates on all the bags. So what he was trying to do was trying to see how long you can freeze them before you reheat them.
Yeah,
because
he was going to take them to market. So I grew up, and that was just one. Many things. But I used to watch my dad like, what is he doing and why is he doing it? And, well, you guys have never heard of curry puffs, because he never went through with his plan. But, you know, I just grew up with these examples. And when I look at myself now, just speaking of motivation and what keeps me moving, I always have to, like you said, your reason why.
Right.
You have to have a strong reason why. Because I tell anybody that's going to be an entrepreneur, this is not, you know, the sound of music. You're not going to always be running through the fields and have your arms out and spinning in circles. You're not going to be happy. There's ups and downs. There's always ups and downs. And challenges. I just call them problems. Everybody wants to say challenges. They're problems. You're going to have a lot. You're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. And
Some people, they just stop after the first problem, second problem, third problem. They get frustrated, and because they don't have that strong reason why. You always need to have a motivation to keep you going. And for me, just loving what you do and really passionate about what you do, it really does make a difference. It really does help. It really does.
I did a post today on Facebook about, people not, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, people not understanding what you do. And sometimes we have to go back because we want other people to be there to support us. Mm-hmm. And we forget that we have to be our own cheerleaders because not everyone understands what we're doing, why we're doing it. They don't understand our drive, our passion, our plan, what we're trying to do. And sometimes they can become that negative factor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And you have to learn how, and I know a lot of business have stopped because of this, because other people are not supporting them. So they're not they don't have that natural ability, that natural drive to cheer themselves on.
Right.
How important is it that, and it's important to have a good system of people behind you. That's not the right word I want to use, but it's important to have a good support system is what I was trying to say. It's very good to have that, and I thank God for my family. As my support system, I have one that's my cheerleader.
Right.
I can do everything. That's my oldest son. I have my youngest son that's pushing me, and he's saying, "No, I don't like how you're doing that. You need to do it a different way." From my board on down. But those are my support system. Then I have my husband who's saying, "Oh, you can do anything in the world, but you need to remember this. You need to remember that." So I have different people in my ear, family and friends that can do that. But even if I didn't have them, how can I encourage? And this is not for me because I have to encourage myself every day. This is for other entrepreneurs who are really struggling. What things that you all do to really self-support yourself in your vision when you have other negativity in your ear?
I say because a lot of people give up because when they find out their friends and family not going to support them. And if you learn that those are going to be the first people that are not going to support you because they don't know any better. Mm-hmm. So you have to get around people that know better, that have done the same thing that you're doing, that's, kind of got the same business minded. And a lot of times we don't know. I didn't at first how to separate friends. Mm-hmm. You have certain people in your life. These people, you talk about this person that person that. You don't put all of those different people together. So you have to go out and find a support system. Mm-hmm. Listen to affirmations. I learned about affirmations by being in network marketing. I learned a lot about, business. And so that helps me because I have my days where I'm like, man, I ain't pretty enough. They're going to look at me and be like, what's she coming up in here for? Or, she still needs to lose some weight. She talking to me about weight. Things like that. And that will play in your mind and it'll stop you from doing stuff. So I start looking in the mirror like, I am great. I do attract, this type of people. I am beautiful. Stuff like that. So when I learn how to do that, it'll bring me back up. As soon as I start feeling a negative way. And then also, I tell YouTube. You could find the day that I went on YouTube and I was searching how to do something, and it came up and it said how to separate your clothes for your laundry. I said,
you can find anything.
I said, you know what? People are lazy nowadays because you can find anything on YouTube. True. So I listen to Les Brown. Stuff that's going. I love him.
Stage with him one day.
Right. He's actually going to be at one of our events. But September. Anybody could come, but buy a ticket. But so people don't you just find some other people besides your close knit of friends because all they know you as is that person that you've been. Right. You trying to be a new person. They don't know that new person. So they're not gonna accept it. So go out and meet some new people. Find some and if they start being negative, dump them real quick. Go find some that's trying to, that you trying to be like the audios and them affirmations. And you could just put that right on YouTube and listen to it.
So before you go, James, I just want to say Jay Stone. She talks about all the time about, she's a big, heavy-set woman. I've never had this problem because I believe I'm just as beautiful as anybody else, just as fine as anybody else, and they may have their coat bottle shape, and I know I don't.
Right.
And that's the shape of anything. So I don't have that problem, but so many people have that problem, and she speaks on that all the time, how people used to tell her that she would, and if y'all know Jay Stone, she's very big, right?
Yeah.
So if, people used to tell her she's too big, she's not attractive enough, and she can't do this, and people not going to listen to her, and people not going to do this, and I've seen her ride around on her little, it's not the hover car, but it's something like that,
Right.
and, people are still back there, and they're listening to everything she has to say.
Right.
Every time she have an event, she's rocking
Packing
out
it
the
out,
house
right.
and stuff, and so, that just tells me, and she reminds other people not to let people stop you out of saying what
Right.
you can't do,
That's
or what
true.
other people don't want to hear from you, and you don't have that right look. What is the right look? There
That's
is
true.
no right look.
That's
you are
true.
you, and it's only one you.
That's
so
true.
what look do you think people are looking for?
Mhm.
Don't let those kind of things stop you. So when you said that, I really wanted
thought
to
about
touch on that because she preaches about that all the time. What she have gone through. People told her before when she first started, she couldn't do. Nobody's going to listen to you. You're overweight and
Right.
you all that. What overweight got to do with what's coming out of her
That's
head?
true.
Now they may be looking at her and saying they want her to be healthy and all this kind of
Right.
stuff, but that ain't got nothing to do with what's coming out of her head and how she's helping other people get their businesses off. So stop thinking that people not going to listen to you because you're looking a certain way. It's not the way that you're looking; it's what's coming out of your mouth and the help that you're providing for someone else. The solution that you're giving to a problem that they
Right.
have.
And
So I'm sorry, I just
no,
wanted to
I mean, that's the
touch
core
on
business.
that.
And that's true. And basically, to piggyback off of what you were saying, because anybody will tell you, which is true. Misery loves company,
Right.
but success does too.
That's true.
Success does too. So, getting yourself around people that are slightly ahead of you or on your same level, I mean, it helps because just the dialogue between you and those people is
Right.
totally different when
That's
you're dealing with a negative person. And you're able to share ideas with them and bounce ideas around, and they give you ideas, and it helps keep you inspired. It helps keep your mind right because, again, like you both were saying, those little conversations that you have in your head,
Oh my goodness.
those are the things that you have to tame. I always describe the mind as kind of like you can just imagine like a wild rock wild. It's not tamed, and it's going to go wherever it's going to go and do whatever it's going to do. So in your own mind, you have to basically put a leash around it and train it. So those conversations, those inner dialogues, they don't go all over the place. You're able to okay, I just really need to focus on this. I heard something negative, or maybe something negative happened.
Right.
And instead of dwelling on that, you're able to kind of push it aside, not necessarily push it aside, but just kind of deal with it and then get back on task.
Right.
Get back and focus on what you're supposed to be doing. And just from personally, a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs I deal with, it's a skill. It's something that you have to learn because they will focus on, let's say they have 10 people that really enjoy what they're doing, and one person is negative, and they will concentrate on why does this one person not like what I'm doing, but you still have 10 people over here that do. So instead of taking that time and energy and all that inner dialogue, trying to figure out why that one person, why don't you take that time and energy and that inner dialogue and see what am I doing that is, really helping these 10 people, and how can I improve upon it? It's just really a different perspective and just a way of looking at things. So the inner dialogue, extremely important, and you should always speak about yourself in the best way possible.
That's true.
Always. It's in your head. Nobody else has to agree.
Right.
You don't have to mention it to nobody else. Nobody else has to say anything to you. But in your mind, you have to know it.
And me, that what I do is I do affirmations.
Yes.
I love listening to my motivational videos. Anytime I start getting depressed about something, or I feel myself, and we know when we're getting negative.
Yes.
Right.
I start to feel myself getting negative. I turn on one of my motivational videos, and normally it's either Les Brown or I love, because I have boys and we've listened to those all these years. I love the sports videos. They just really motivate me that we are the champions and you can do it.
Yeah.
If you want to be successful, if you
Right.
more than you want to breathe.
Right.
I absolutely love them. Just let them keep running and running.
Right.
And before I know it, I'm up and I'm doing something. I'm going. And the other thing is because of my faith, I recite in my head the 23rd Psalm all the time. Anytime something comes in my head, or when I first get up in the morning, I start quoting that back in my head because I know the negativity is going to come throughout the day.
Right.
Or I know my body is going to tell me that. And it almost told me that this morning. It's normally when you have something to do.
Right. You tired.
I just want to get up and get it started this morning. And you know, I did lay down a little bit longer, but I'm quoting 23rd song in my head, so to give me that strength and energy that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that I do to push myself forward. What are some of the things that you all do to push yourself forward when you start to have those feelings?
Just about what you said.
Yeah, honestly, because me, very seldom, like even because I do a lot of driving, so very seldom do I have the radio on. Everything coming through those speakers is inspirational stuff or stuff that I need to learn or stuff I'm studying, and it just keeps me in that mindset.
Right.
It just keeps me in that mindset. It keeps me inspired and motivated. I'm sorry.
And I used to do that. Like, I got to get back to doing that because I stopped listening to radio, and I was like, I enrolled myself in the Hyundai Santa Fe University, and people like, what are you talking about? Yeah. I was like, my car. I only listen to inspirational, motivational things. And for me, like, when I love to do road trips because it is like where it clears your mind and has you to thinking about. And so just like being in the car, like I drive a lot too, kids driving them all around. But that's like your time to think and reevaluate some situations and some things that you're doing. But yeah, that's about the same thing. Yeah. That's what I do. Just try to listen to some motivational things and talk to somebody too. Like I say, you got them separate friends. So when I'm feeling a certain type of way, I know who to call.
Exactly.
That way we can,
Don't
you know,
oh
no, then this gonna be over for the rest of the day. So I know who to call to help, because sometimes I feel like for me, I'm always the one motivating other people. And I'm like, well, who can I turn to when I need motivation? So now I have a person where I can call and, you know, vent to, and they get me together, and then I'm good for the rest of the day.
That's important. That is really important.
It is.
Sometimes you just need to be heard. You know,
right.
And especially, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. This is after.
No, I was just going to say, sometimes you just need to be heard by somebody who understands where you're coming from.
Right.
Sometimes that's all you need.
I agree with that. The difference. You have different people to talk to for different circumstances.
Exactly.
Right.
But again, business is a relationship, so it's just like a marriage relationship. You have to have those people that you know who you can go to, because sometimes you don't want advice.
No.
You just want people to listen to what you're saying, and then hang up the phone. You've already solved your own problem.
Right.
That's true.
And motivating yourself, just releasing it off of you, versus calling the wrong one, and you can't get half of your conversation out, and they done gave you all this other stuff to do, and now you done bottom out.
Right. Just forget it. One of my problems was not.
So Ron was saying on here, Ron is the guy that we met.
Ron. Hey, how you doing, Ron?
So improve and upgrade your network. Love it, you guys. So yeah, that is so important. That's exactly what everyone is saying. The other thing is, when you're an entrepreneur, most of the time you're working from home. So I have my home office upstairs to the right there, very nice and open. I have my inspirational little word, live, love, laugh on there, and all this stuff. But and I have, you know, I don't like my curtains closed, y'all. Everything is open because I don't like lights to be on, but artificial lights. But I like the natural light to come in. Excuse me. But even sometimes those four walls still seem to close in on you. So you have to find something else to do. So when I used to tell my husband, I'm going to Starbucks, or I'm going to Chick-fil-A, and I'm just going to sit there. Or sometimes I just go to the gazebo across the street or to a park or something, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to work. He's like, you got that? But you understand, because he's not a person that go out and do it. I'm used to being out, and just seems like sometimes, especially when you're really working hard and stuff, those walls just close in. So, you know, I tell entrepreneurs, find another outlet sometimes, once or twice a week, to get outside of your house and do something else, because then you're seeing other people. You're listening to other people. Other people can be saying something, you know, that conversation. You may not be trying to overhear what they're saying, but that conversation they have, you may have a 10-minute conversation with them to kind of get you off of what you're doing. So now when you go back to what you're doing after that little 5 or 10-minute conversation, you can refocus your mind. You can solve whatever problem you were trying to do, or it can give you that extra push. But I know for me, getting out of that office sometime and doing, sometimes I just come downstairs in the kitchen. Sometimes I'll come and sit in here. But it's that, looking at that same room all the time.
It's like a cubicle at work.
And it gets you depressed sometimes. And I have everything that everyone tells you that you need in your office,
Right.
making inspirational and stuff.
Yeah, there's
But
plenty of
sometimes
inspiration in there, but
Right.
Sometimes it just does not do the job that I needed to do, and just getting out and getting my eyes focused on something else gives me that little extra drive. I don't drink Starbucks as much as I used to, because as an entrepreneur, I had to cut down on my when your income is cut. But still, you can go there and
talk,
and they're business-minded people who are there,
Yes,
who are
yes.
doing different things. So
True.
to me, that's one of the things. What else is something else they can do when they're working inside the home that you all may be able? I know you said you drive a lot, so most of the time you're driving.
But even when I'm at home, like, well, I guess I'm a little weird because I have one light in my office, and I keep my curtains closed. But I don't like a lot of light. It distracts me. So, and sometimes I will turn all the lights off, and I'll just sit there. It's not really like a meditation per se. It's just kind of just concentrating and focusing my mind on something. Just like you were saying, it's kind of putting your mind on something else. Especially when I'm writing and you get writer's block, like, dang, this paragraph's not coming out right. This chapter's not coming out right. Because I will scrap an entire chapter if I need to and just start over from scratch. If it's not flowing. So sometimes I'll just sit there in the dark and just think about, what I need to do and whatever the final aim, but just as an example for a chapter, what is actually the aim of this chapter and why isn't this coming out right? And sometimes the answer will come to me after a few minutes. Sometimes I do need to leave the house. I do need to drive. And I mean, literally, I'll just drive. I'm not going anywhere in particular. Sometimes I just drive and, have whatever I have on playing through the radio that's inspirational, and sometimes the idea will just come. And sometimes when it's really, really bad, I have two people. I'm very fortunate. I have two people that I can call that understand immediately. And they're able to give me their perspective and their feedback on it. So, it just helps so much. Especially because you will have those times where you're just not feeling it. You're going to have them days like, I don't feel like doing anything. And you still have to.
Exactly.
You still have to.
You have to push just like you would.
Right.
When we think about when we don't want to go to church sometimes,
Right.
we make all these excuses, and then you think about, because I'm that person, and then you think about, but if I had that job to go to,
Yeah,
it doesn't
I'm
matter
there,
what
right.
was going on, I would
I'm
be there
there.
on time,
That's
clocked
true.
in. And it's just like entrepreneurship. We can't just lay there, because if we had an actual job that required us to clock in, we still had to get up and make that happen.
Yep.
I know that you exercise a lot and on your weight loss journey and things. So how does that help you as entrepreneurs release some of the stress off of you? Or does it do that for you?
It does. I love walking now. Like, I'd rather walk than go to the gym now. So, mine's a little, because I don't really have an office, so I'm doing different. So I'm a little different. I love to be out. I love to go. But, like, working out and stuff, it does. It just makes me feel good all over. Like, oh, I accomplished something. Oh, we did this much. Oh, I could just, and then I'm just picturing, how my body going to look, too. So that helps, too. So.
Gotcha. Now, you say you don't have an office, but I know you do all of these things. So how important is it to have an office or your own personal
I think
space?
it's important. I'm working on that now. So it is important because
Let's get with you on this.
yeah, look, don't know. But it is important because, like, I try to do my days Monday, Tuesdays to do like computer stuff, clerical stuff like that. Then the rest of the days I'm either out and about. I don't really touch the computer that much like that unless it's on Facebook or something like that. But that's one of the things that I am working on is like having my little space. I'm turning because I do hair, in my space too. So I'm turning that where I can work at, because I feel like I would get more done. Because right now I'll sit on my bed. Like during the daytime, I'm just sitting on my bed on my computer. I get my stuff done, and I'm real comfortable too.
I'm just saying,
But
I have to visualize.
I like it, but I think you do need an office.
Each person has his own. That's why I'm asking you how important
If it works, it works.
It's
Yeah.
just like I can't wear my heels, right? And I talk about this all the time because I've always been a heel person. Every job I've ever been on, I would dress up and I would put my heels on.
Yeah.
As soon as I get to work, them heels come off. And I put my flats on. But it's something in my mind that said it makes me feel more professional. It makes me feel like I'm going to work. Same with my lipstick. I'm not a big makeup person.
But you gotta have that lipstick
on, because if I don't have it on, I don't feel dressed up.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm going to work, or wherever I'm going must not be that important. So it's a mental thing. Going to my office is the same thing. When I'm going there and I'm sitting down and I'm at my desk and I feel like, you know, and it doesn't have to be a big desk or anything, but you know, I'm a visual person, so as you can see here, I like myself to be together and look a certain way because that's how I motivate my mind. But each person is different, so if it doesn't work not to have a desk, then by all means don't. But you know, I'm out into organization.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people. Like, if I can do something different every day, that I would be on cloud 9. Like for real, one time I told somebody, I said, I wonder if I can get a different job every month, work somewhere different. They looked at me like I was crazy. No, I love
to be routine.
See, that's why I get bored. That's how I get bored, and it's like, this not fun for me anymore. Now I got to do something else. So if I'm doing that same thing, it comes uninteresting. And like, you know, as you get older, you start learning about yourself, and you're like, okay, that's why I'm like this, because if I had to do the same, that's why I'm gonna go to my job and do what I had to do. But after a while, it's just boring. Like,
see, I know because I know you. You're a talker as well.
Yeah, I love it.
But she's done a lot of her selling, just getting out, going to the post office, just talking to somebody in general. She sells them something. You know, just going to the mall, passing by someone, holding a conversation. So that's why you're the way you are, because you're more successful.
I love that.
Which that wouldn't be me, because when I'm going to the post office, I ain't talking about it. Put my mail in.
I'm being nosy because I'm like, they got a package.
Can this line please move a little faster? That's what
I'm doing that, and then I'm observing everybody.
Yeah,
if they got a lot of package, y'all do something. Y'all busy. So I'm gonna try to talk. Like today, I went to this natural store, Seven Nana, or something like the 7 in Midtown. And so they sell all this natural stuff. So I was asking this lady about a tea. And so the lady was like, oh, you into a detox tea? I was like, yeah, I actually. So we started talking. Then another lady came up. We started talking. We exchanged information, our Facebook information. She's going to be a part of the 6 weeks challenge. And she bought me something.
See what I'm saying?
From the stuff.
That's why the different every day.
So I love it. It works for me.
Inside out.
It does.
Honestly, I would go crazy if I didn't have an office.
I would lose it. I'm one of them people like, if I get an idea, I'm ready to jump on it. If it's taking too long, I'm gonna be like, I'm done. Like, y'all taking too long. Y'all work out the details. Y'all let me know, and then I'll be ready.
It's like she said she only work on the computer twice. So
lucky you.
You see me, you gonna see the iPad wherever I go, because I got to have that calendar. I have to put down when I think of things in my head. I have to put them in my notes. And as I get rid of them or finish them or change my mind about, I'm deleting them out.
Okay.
I have to be on that computer all the time, and I'm not necessarily on Facebook. Everybody think I am. We don't share a page, but we don't have a page, so he's always on my page. So people are thinking that I'm on Facebook.
Yeah,
all
and it's
the time.
him.
It's him on Facebook. You'll know it's him because, well, you may not know now. He used to didn't like anything or, comments. And I noticed lately he even liking stuff. I didn't like that. And not necessarily to be on social media all day, but I do check it every now and then, because the DM is important. It goes down in the DM. Right. So you have to check that DM, because I just met Miss Jewel this morning and accepted her friend request, and she started sending me information, asking me information about my business. And so I have to be on that. Even though I didn't want to get out the bed, I had to turn over and look at that iPad, to make sure that someone is not sending me information or trying to get in touch with me or whatever. So, I mean, it's important for you to know yourself. I guess that's what it all boils down to. It's really important for you to know yourself so that your business can be successful. Because if you're listening to me, I'm telling you how I'm successful and what I'm doing, and it totally won't work for you because you're a totally different person.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, that's something just beautiful about entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you're doing something that's coming from you, you can work it however you want to work it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You really have a lot of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, I call it being boxed in. A lot of people just kind of stay in this little box. And you don't have to as an entrepreneur.
Right, because in corporate, they're telling you what to do. They're telling you exactly how they want you. They hire you because you have this skill set, right?
That's true. To do
what they want you to do, but
Exactly.
you're thinking they're hiring you because you have this skill set to bring the company forward, doing what you know how to do. But truly, they're just telling you that, oh, you can follow directions good. Let me
right.
But you have to learn, if you're a good leader, you have to learn how to do what they want you to do and do it the way they want you to do it. At the same time, adding in your own personal touch to it. You have to do that. Me as a leader, I have to do that. I can't. I don't follow directions well. I have to know. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm agreeing to what you're saying. At the same time, I'm thinking how I'm gonna do it better than what you're saying. So I'm not gonna have a problem with you because I know it's still gonna get done, but it's gonna get done in a better way. The way I have to live, because I have to look at myself in the mirror. But in my own business, I can do that anyhow, and not having to worry about including in, and you have to think though now, because because entrepreneurs, we think that we own this business, and I preach about this all the time about customer service and leadership and the customer experience. We think this is our business. We don't have anyone over us. If you're in business and you're customer facing and you're relying on someone else to bring in your income, to purchase something from you, whether it's a class or a product or whatever, a service. Those are your bosses.
Absolutely correct.
You can't do everything the way you want to do it. You still have to do things the way, you have to think about what your customer wants to do it. I was talking to a young lady the other day, and I said something about the way I wanted to do it, and she was like, but you have to think about, she always brings me back to think about what the customer wants. Because I'm thinking about what I want. So I got to think about what the customer wants. That is so important for us to do that as entrepreneurs because we forget.
That's true.
We forget. I went to a restaurant and I was doing a site visit there, and they had everything black. They had the walls black. They had the tablecloth black, and then they had some couple little pictures on the walls, and they had the little flower in the middle with the napkin thing and the salt and pepper shake. It was a mom and pop thing, but they wanted to step it up a little bit. The first and the reason they had a reason for the blackness. Because the grease get on stuff when they're cooking, so they don't want to have to keep repainting. Which is how expensive. So we don't repaint because we getting rid of all this black. The reason on the black tablecloth, but they couldn't see it. You couldn't see a lot of the stains and stuff on there. We're gonna have to take those off. We're gonna have to change some things up in here in order to do that. You got to put a little money out. See, as entrepreneurs and as small business owners, we don't like to put that money out. Because we're trying to see what's coming in. But you got to put something out in order to get something, and we forget about that. But that was one of the things, and I was like, but think about what your customers want. And they still had a lot of business, but how much more business could you have if it was more inviting? Even if you had black walls, you could have had different color tablecloths and different color, the larger pictures. Versus because you can, this picture get dust on it. I can still go dust it off. It gets oil on it. I have a picture that's on my refrigerator that gets the grease on it from cooking and all this kind of stuff. You can clean stuff off. It's just because you have to clean those tables and those tablecloths and all this stuff off anyhow, right? Even if you got a black wall, you got to wash it down because you know that grease is getting on it. So, I mean, but they had just taken out, this is what I want because this is my business. And now they're making so much more money, not tooting my horn, but they are making more business now because things are a little bit different, a little bit brighter, more inviting. You know, whereas they used to come in there and maybe get their food and leave, now they're sitting down. And guess what? When you're sitting down thinking and smelling that food, you want to take some home and you want to take some to other people, right? So now they're spending more money inside the place. All of those are little small changes, and it wasn't a lot of money because you go to Hobby Lobby and I can pick you up quickly. That's my vacation spot right there. Just the little bitty things that you can do, and you don't always have to go to Hobby Lobby, but they do have 50% off. You can make some, because it's not how much money you spend, and that's what a lot of business people get into, I don't want to spend a lot of money, or everything is too expensive. it's not what you spend, it's what you buy with your money.
Right.
You can go to the dollar store and buy some cute stuff and put it in your business because it's a stepping stone.
Right.
Once you make more, just like once you know better, you do better, right?
Right.
Once you make more, then you spend a little bit more to make it look a little bit more upscale
Right.
because you're getting more people coming in. So that's one of the other things that I have to remind entrepreneurs about as well.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Just piggyback off that real
Mm-hmm.
quick. But again, going back to what I was saying
Hey,
earlier,
Michael.
a lot of entrepreneurs, they just have that list. I need to have this. This needs to be right. And I need to have this. This needs to be right. And this, and that. And they never get started. Or they acquire a couple things and they do start, and then they'll go into like one problem, and then they'll stop. And it's like, oh, that's because I didn't have this. And that's
Right.
not what it is. I think the only way you really, as far as entrepreneurship, and I know entrepreneurship is not a word, but it's my word. But the only way you're really going to know entrepreneurship and really understand it, you really have to get in the game.
That's true. Trial and error.
You really have
That's
to get in the
exactly
game.
right.
The experience, if you're paying attention,
Right.
your experience,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, because I've had plenty of teachers teach me different things, and you take it in, like, okay, let me try this,
That's my
let me
next
try
question.
that, and then you be like, you know what, that actually works. But now you know, because
Right.
they know, they're trying to tell you, but once you do it, then you know, you're like, okay, I see how that works now. I see how that works.
And
Yeah.
so how important is it, do you think, as an entrepreneur, that we need to have somebody, you said it beautifully, yes, we need to surround ourselves around like-minded people, but how important is it for us if we can afford a coach at the beginning? So somebody, because I know a lot of things are trial and error, and
Right.
someone else can't really tell you about your business the way you really want to do it because you have that passion, you have that dream
Mhm.
inside you, how you want it, but there are some things that they can tell us
Mhm.
that we don't have to suffer as much in the beginning as entrepreneurs. So how important is it to have a business coach when you first began to be an entrepreneur? What do you think about
I
what are your
think
thoughts
it's
about
important now that I'm looking back, because a lot of times when you're getting into entrepreneurship, you don't know the different steps on what to do first. So you are doing a lot of trial and error, which costs you a lot of money.
It does.
And so if you do have a business coach, and you don't have to take everything, kind of do some background, because a lot of them ain't good, but do some background on them
And that's
and
what
see if
they-
that
everything
see if that's the right fit for what your business. So try to get somebody that's experienced in what you're trying to do, and then that will save you a lot of time and money. Because I know, like, different businesses, like, I'll spend money on cars, spend money on doing this, spend money, and then end up throwing all that stuff in the garbage. Like, that's money
I'm
wasted.
rebranding now, so
Right. So I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I wasted a lot of money, which I could have saved that money and then did a coach. Or, like, I'm going to go back, go to YouTube, and search some things.
you learn more as
Right,
you is trying
right.
but they can help us get over some of the hurdles
Yes.
that we don't know. Edeline was on my one of my blabs, and we were talking about, she's an accountant, and she has a small business start and stuff like that. And one of the things that she was saying, she's very successful. One of the things that she was saying was, it's so important to come to someone like that even before you get your business license.
Right.
Because it's so important to invest that little money. Would she give 30-minute free calls or interviews or whatever?
Right.
So, utilize that first of all.
Right.
But then once you start having more questions, then you need to hire somebody to come in, because you need to make sure
That's
that
true.
you even getting the right business name, you getting the right LLC, you getting
Right.
whatever it is that you
Yes.
need to be getting, the C and S corps and all of that.
Right.
You need to make sure, because you can save so much money now. Whereas if you come to her a year later
Right.
and you don't have everything right, then you have to spend so
going
much
back.
money to get everything positioned where it needs to be, so that you won't be spending out even more money down the road. So it's easier to get that little money to spend, and it may not be little money because business is a business, but it will save you more money down the road if you invest that money in the beginning.
Can I piggyback? I think it is good to have a business coach, but it's so many other things out here, like different programs, SCORE, and stuff like that, where they actually give you a piece of paper, a whole thing, telling you the different steps to do. A lot of time people are lazy with business, with losing, just because they think it's something magical. A lot of times they keep digging for the same thing over that's right there. But they like, no, it's something else, it's something else.
It'll be something else.
Yeah. So a lot of times that information is right there. And I know I'm bad at that because I really don't have adult ADHD. But it be acting up sometimes where I don't want to read through all that stuff. Like, I don't want to write a business plan down and stuff like that. But that stuff really is important because as you start writing it down, then you can go back and tweak. Like, you know what? No, that ain't going to work. Let me go back. And, you know, if you go ahead and do that, then you could save some money and time and stuff.
Yeah, and now, you know, business, and I probably shouldn't even have used that word because business coach really has a stigmatism on it, whereas people are looking negative at that word.
Right.
Because there are some very, very good ones, there are some mediocre ones, and there are some ones that are not as good, they're just in it to make money.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of them are going to the strategists, and I know some very, very, very good business strategists from Tina Greer, Trina Newby, you know, all these other people that I know who are really, really good at it. So I don't want to take anything away from them,
not at all.
I should have never used that word. But I do think it's important because, like me, when I first got it, when I first became an entrepreneur, the first thing I thought I had to have was me a pamphlet. $1,000. My pamphlets was, I mean, I just loved them. They was very professional. Everybody was like, oh my God, where you did this from? Now that, oh my God, didn't get me nailed down.
It was cute though, right?
Exactly. They was loving them. It was all professional and all of this. So I'm spending my money on getting this printed. And that didn't bring not one red dime, a penny into my pocket. But everyone was loving it, talking about how professional I can do and can I help them? But they ain't got no money for me to help them do it. I'm just so I'm still not making no money, but I'm still putting money out. But a strategist could have sat down with me and we could have strategized together about where I wanted my business to go and the things that I needed to do at that point. Instead of wasting that thousands of dollars
on that, and you could have did that on something else.
Right. And I did business cards like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
You know, but I'm rebranding now and I refuse to get anything done until I get everything done the way I want it done this time and go forward from there. So I'm looking forward to 2017. But I just really think, you know, having a strategist in the beginn could have helped on this.
It does.
That's right.
It prioritizes things. And some things, especially when you're first starting out, some things are just not that important.
That's true.
They're not that important.
That's true.
Go back to trying to be a perfectionist. You know, you want to be a perfectionist and everything right in the beginning. Because, you know, you want to look that part of being business, but it's not about the look most of the time. Of course, your image matters. Don't get me wrong. But it's about what you know. It's just like people that you see love to wear a lot of jewelry.
Yes.
I always used to I love to use this as an example. I worked for JCPenney selling fine jewelry.
Okay.
And when I worked for a store out here in Atlanta, I sold the most. Okay. I had people coming out to CCT. They didn't want anything under $1,000.
Wow.
Because they like to look the part like they have something.
Yes.
And then they moved me to Kennesaw. Right. Where they have the $1 million homes and the Hummers were big out then. And the Hummers were filled, the parking lot was filled with the Hummers. And they come looking at me wanting a $99 piece of jewelry. And I'm looking at them like, you got $1 million home, but you're always showing me your pictures and always showing me your travel and all of this. But you don't care nothing about how you look because you got the money anyhow.
Most of the time.
So I think in business we do the same thing. We want to look the part versus really being the part.
That's true.
I learned that.
That's so true.
Because, you know, when you're first starting and then you have people that they talk real good and they look good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get with he got the new Benz.
Right.
He's dressed nice. Okay. He might know what he's talking about.
Right.
Because I used to go seek out teachers, people to teach me stuff. And they didn't have it. They didn't have it. The people that I got the most information from and really knew what they were talking about, they had nice things. Don't get me wrong. They had nice stuff. But on an everyday average, if there wasn't like something special going on, they looked regular. Yeah, they looked regular.
But I bet that bank account looked it right.
Exactly.